Hello students, welcome to the data mining and data warehousing class. I am John Prakash Vegas, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Science and Engineering, AG Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mangaluru. So in today's lecture, I am going to discuss about graph-based clustering and one of the scalable clustering algorithm. So graph-based clustering is used to connect the multiple points, and in between these there will be a edge will be having a some weightage, and the graph based clustering uses the proximity graph. So the proximity graphs contains the proximity matrix, and each point as a node in a graph. So when you are forming a cluster, there will be multiple points will be there. So multiple points will be there, and these points, each point in each point will be treated as a node, and in the proximity matrix, suppose if there are 10 points are there, so 10 by 10 matrix will be created, and for each point there will be a weight will be assigned. So consider each point as a node in the graph, and each edge between two nodes as a weight, which is the proximity between. Edge means a proximity between two points, and initially the proximity graph is fully connected. So initially the graph is fully connected, and later we need to remove these links if any outliers or noise is present and which is not belongs to that particular cluster. So either it is a single link or complete link can be viewed in a graph. So in the simplest case, clusters are connected components in the graph. All initially everything will be connected. So connected together. So various points will be connected. And depending upon proximity, we need to connect it. And here, first let us see some of the key approaches in the graph based clustering. Now here we need to sparsify the proximity graph to keep only the connections of an object with its nearest neighbors. So there may be other connections will be there, and those connections we need to remove, and this sparsification is useful for handling the noise and outliers. Second, we in this graph based clustering, we need to define a similarity measure between two objects based on number of nearest neighbors that they share, and this approach, which is based on the observation that the object and its nearest neighbors usually belongs to the same class, and here it may use various dimensions to see that it is a nearest neighbor based on various dimension. If it is a disease, then classifying clustering disease symptoms based on the symptoms, if you want to do a cluster, then various dimensions, there may be body temperature, then a blood report various values, and all these need to be considered. And third is the define core objects and build clusters around the core objects. In the DB scan, we have discussed what is core object. So core object is a point which is having more number of points in a radius of epsilon, which is having more than the minimum points across the radius. To do this, for the graph based clustering, it is necessary to introduce a notion of density based proximity graph or sparsified proximity graph, because we need to, in order to define core object, we need to see the density. So density is within a point. So if a point is given, and if we are drawing a radius, or with the epsilon as a radius, and how many points are falling within that epsilon radius, and if it is greater than minimum point, then it is called as a core objects. And next approach is use the information in the proximity graph to provide a more sophisticated evaluation of whether two clusters should be merged or they need to keep separately. So these graph based clustering will tell that, based on this information available in the proximity graph, which will provide additional information whether to merge two clusters or whether to keep two clusters separately. So that we can do using the graph based approaches. And first, let us see about sparsification. The M by M proximity matrix for M data point can be represented as a dense graph in which each node is connected to one another, and the weight of the edge between any pair of node reflects their pairwise proximity. So there may be various points will be there in the proximity matrix. We are representing the point A, B, C, D. Then here the weight. So A to A. So this will be 0. Then A to B, A to C, A to D. Like this we need to represent. And here from A to B, what is the distance? So that pairwise proximity we need to mention. For most data set, objects are highly similar to small number of objects and weakly similar to the most of the object. So if you are checking as a similarity, then similar in the shape or some other dimension if you are choosing, then for most data set, objects are highly similar or more near to small number of objects and weakly similar or which are dissimilar or far to most of the objects. So this property, which the property says that the objects are highly similar to the small number of objects and weakly similar to the most other object, and this property can be used to sparsify the proximity graph or matrix by setting many of these low similarity or high dissimilarity. So low similarity or nearby, not nearby, we can consider if you are considering a distance, or similarity if you are considering low similar or highly dissimilar objects, we can directly give the value. So now here it is very far, directly we can give the value as a 0. before beginning the actual clustering process, and this is called as a sparsification. The sparsification may be performed, for example, by breaking all the links that have dissimilarity, which breaking all the links that have similarity below certain threshold level. So similarity below certain threshold level, or by keeping only k nearest, only k 1 or 2 or 3 k whatever we are specified, only keeping k nearest neighbor points. If we are considering distance, then k nearest neighbor points, and we can create a graph, and this graph is known as k nearest neighbor graph, where only k nearest neighbor object we are maintaining the distance information, remaining everything will be given, we are writing as a 0, so that is neglected. And the sparsification can be written as a complete data set. We need to construct the proximity matrix. From this we need to construct a sparse graph. So sparse graph, whichever is having far, suppose for this object, if you are considering this object, all these are, if you are considering only k near 3 nearest, so 1 2 3, if you are considering only 3, this values, these values, 3 values will be non-zero for this point, and remaining all will be 0. And like this we can do the reconstruct the proximity matrix, and these proximity matrix whatever is reconstructed can be used to partition the graph, so that we can create the clusters out of it. So this is why we are going to do the sparsification. And let us see one of the graph based clustering, and I think we have already discussed about it. So minimum spanning tree clustering. So minimum spanning tree means for any given points we need to construct a spanning tree from the minimum distance. First we need to start with the suppose there are 6 points are given, so minimum distance, so from year to year, next minimum distance maybe year to year, next is year, then next is here, next is here. So like this we need to create a spanning tree. So spanning tree do not have any cycles, and so which are connected, the different points or nodes are connected with the minimum distance. And in the case of minimum spanning tree clustering, we can apply hierarchical division clustering algorithm. So here, based on the dissimilarity graph, we need to compute a spanning tree. Then we need to create new clusters by breaking the link corresponding to the largest dissimilarity. So in the hierarchical clustering, so this will divide. So this is one part, this is another part. So we need to repeat until there is a singleton cluster remains. So next we can divide, so which is very farthest. So for this I think this, then we can divide like this. So further divide until there is singleton cluster remains. So this is what is the minimum spanning tree divisive hierarchical clustering algorithm. So that I think in the previous lecture we have discussed about it. So when we are discussing about agglomerative clustering, we have also discussed about MST divisive hierarchical clustering algorithm. And now let us see about scalable clustering algorithm. So even the best clustering algorithm is of little value if it takes unacceptable long time to execute and requires too much memory. Because the importance is that the clustering should be done with a very less amount of time, and also the memory requirement also is memory is also limited. So that is the reason why the clustering technique that plays significant importance on the scalability to the very large data sets that become increasingly common. Because whether our algorithm should work in the large data set, which should not take very long time, and it should not consume much of the memory. And some general strategies for scalability uh, are where we can use the algorithm should be scalable. The approaches are reducing the number of proximity calculation, because we cannot compute the proximity for each and everything, or we can reduce the sampling data rather than considering the entire set of data. We can take the samples from the data, and we can do this clustering algorithms, or partition the data so that the technique clustering techniques can be applied to the individual partition. Then we can combine, and later clustering summarized representation of the data can be given after once it is partitioned. Then we can like combine it for that, so that we can get a summarized clustering representation of the data. And cure, that is clustering using representatives, is a clustering algorithm that uses a variety of different techniques to create an approach that can handle large data sets, which can handle the outlier or noise, and even the clusters with the non-spherical and non-uniform shapes of different type of shapes. If we want to handle, then we can make use of this cure, that is clustering using representatives algorithm. And cure represents a cluster by using multiple representative points from the cluster, and these points will in theory capture the geometry and shape of the cluster. The first representative point is chosen to be the point farthest from the center of the cluster, and while the remaining points are chosen so that they are farthest from the previously chosen points. And in this way, the representative points are naturally and relatively well distributed, and number of points chosen in a parameter, but it was found the value of 10 or more worked well in the case of cure. Once the representative points are chosen, instead of taking all the points, only few representative points are chosen, and they are strung towards the center by the factor of alpha. So suppose some representative points are taken, and these representative points are shrinking near to the centroid or center by the factor alpha, and this alpha can vary between 0 to 1, and this helps to moderate the effects of outliers or noise, and which is usually farther away from the center, because most of the outliers does not lie at the within the cluster. It will be very far from the cluster. Thereby we can reduce the number of points or number of objects for our clustering. And for example, a representative point that was distance of 10 units from the centroid would move by 3 units, then alpha is equal to 0.7, while the representative point at a distance of 1 unit would only move just 0.3 units. Let us see in detail. And the cure uses agglomerative hierarchical scheme to perform the actual clustering mechanism. So agglomerative means we are merging each other. The distance between two clusters is the minimum distance between two representative points, because if we want to strung the points, okay, the distance between two cluster is the whichever is the minimum, that will be chosen as a representative point after they strung towards the respective center. While this scheme is not exactly will work exactly as that of hierarchical scheme, because in hierarchical scheme we need to connect each and every point, and that is difficult. In incremental approach we are doing, that is not that easy because it is time consuming and more computationally intensive, and it is equivalent to do the centroid based hierarchical clustering if the alpha value we are directly setting to 0, or if alpha value is 1, then it is same as that of single link hierarchical clustering. But what we are doing is here we are varying this alpha factor, and while hierarchical clustering scheme is used, the goal of the cure is to find the given number of clusters as specified by the user. So how many number of clusters the user want to create, that many clusters we can create. And the cure takes the certain characteristics of hierarchical clustering to eliminate the outlier. The first is that if a cluster is growing slowly, then the meaning is that most of the objects are outliers, because usually if it is growing very fast means the points are very near to each other, but if there are outliers then they are far, very far, so it will not be merged, the new points will not be merged often. So in cure, in the first phase of outlier elimination, what we will do is when the number of clusters is one third of the original number of points, then we'll do the first we'll eliminate the outliers. So total we'll count the number of points. So number of points are not less than one third, then we can do the outlier elimination. The second phase of the outlier elimination occurs when the number of clusters is on the order of k. So how many clusters are required? Because once we are eliminating in first phase, the second phase is, suppose I want a cluster of k is equal to 4. So what I can do is I need to eliminate the additional points in such a way that it should be multiple of k. So second phase, the outlier elimination occurs when the number of clusters is in the order of k, multiples of k. And at this point, small clusters again, so there will be small clusters, those clusters will be eliminated. And so if you are summarizing this cure algorithm, where k is the desired number of clusters, so how many clusters are required, so that will be taken from the user. So k is the desired number of clusters, will be taken from the user. M is the number of points. So total number of points or objects are present originally. So from these objects or points we need to construct the clusters. And third parameter is the number of partitions are required. So how many partitions are required, and Q is the desired reduction of points in the partition. How many points we have to do in a partition. So the number of clusters in a partition is given by total number of points divided by P into Q. So that is number of partition into desired reduction of points in each partition. And the working of this Q algorithm is as follows. First step is draw the random sample from the data set. So here, in order to take the random sample, we need to make sure that the size of the sample should be in order of actual cluster, because the sample, while taking the samples, there should be high probability that all cluster points should be represented with the minimum number of points. So if there are 10,000 cluster points are there, and if we are randomly choosing 1000 or 500 samples, then those 500 samples should be chosen such a way that it should represent, actually it should represent that 10,000 points. So this is very, very important, because while taking the random samples, it should make sure that random samples should be representatives of the entire data set. So next step is partition the sample into P equal sized partition. So here we need to partition the samples into P number of partitions. So P also, the input will be given by the user or the person who is going to do the partition. And once that step is done, then cluster the points in each partition into M divided by PQ clusters using Q's hierarchical clustering algorithm to obtain the total of M by Q clusters. And during this partition time, the outliers or noise present in the data set will be removed. So first, cluster the points in each partition into M divided by PQ clusters. So that many clusters we need to create, M by PQ. And so M by Q clusters will get. And during this process, the farthest points which are not near, like outliers, will be removed at first level. And next is use the Q's hierarchical algorithm to cluster the M by Q cluster found in the previous step until only K clusters remains. So here first we need to do the order of K, we need to repeat this until we need to keep on merging, because hierarchical clustering, if it is a agglomerative clustering which combines various objects into single cluster, so that is what is called as a agglomerative clustering. And here we need to repeat the previous step, that is step number 3 and 4, in such a way that it remains only k clusters will remain, because k is the desired number of clusters. And during this process again we need to eliminate any outliers. So this is the second phase of eliminating the outliers, if any outliers are present. And once this is done, assign all remaining data points to the nearest cluster to obtain a complete cluster, because now from the original, now we will get whatever k number of clusters. Now from the original data set, if any points, all the points which are nearest to the cluster, whichever I obtain after doing the clustering, that need to be assigned, so that we will get the actual cluster for the entire data set. So in this way this pure algorithm works. I hope it is clear to you. First we need to draw a random sample from the data set. So and the sampling should be done in such a way that it represents the entire data set. The representation of entire data set, it should represent whatever the sample should represent as an entire data set. For example, if you are considering, if you want to do some sampling of students of 1000 students, and if I want to do some sampling based on their performance in the 10th exam, now what I'll do is I will choose the samples in such a way that, so some numbers I will take students from 90 to 100, few more from 80 to 90. So like that various categories I will choose, so that my sample will almost represents the actual data set. Once that is done, we need to do the we need to partition the sample into p equal size partitions. Then the cluster point in each partition we need to divide. So cluster the points in each partition into m by pq clusters. So this should be for each partition we need to apply this clustering technique. So here we can make use of agglomerative or cures to some hierarchical clustering. So that is based on the alpha factor that we can do to obtain the total m by q clusters. And during this process the outliers will be eliminated. And next step is to use Cure's hierarchical clustering algorithm to cluster the m by q clusters found in the previous step, until we'll have only k number of clusters, because whatever we have divided the clusters, now we need to further reduce the clusters till only k clusters remain. So here also again some of the outliers will be eliminated. Next, finally assign all remaining data points to the nearest clusters. So whichever from the complete in order to obtain the complete clustering from the original data set, whichever the points which are near to the clusters, whatever we have created k clusters, assign those points to it. So in this way we can this Cure algorithm works. So if you are having any query, you can discuss with me, or you can send, or you can call me, and you can clarify. I hope you understood this. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.